The psychology of people who hate phone calls and face-to-face meetings. Do you recognize this in yourself? You hate phone calls. You don't like video calls. You always feel exhausted when you have to meet people in person, even when they haven't done anything wrong. When your phone rings, stare at it for a few seconds and let it go dark. Then you text back and say, "Sorry, I was busy earlier," but you know you weren't busy. You just didn't want to pick up. If you see yourself in these lines, this video was probably made for you. 1. Why do you hate phone calls? The truth is, you don't actually hate the person who's calling. You hate the feeling of being forced to react right away. A phone call makes you speak immediately. Think immediately, answer immediately. There's no time to prepare, no buffer to adjust your words. No chance to take a deep breath before you start talking. For people who are sensitive, who overthink, or who are introverted. That feeling is like someone suddenly dragging you out of your comfort zone. A phone call feels like an intrusion into your train of thought, into the peaceful rhythm you're trying to protect. It stresses you out in a way other people never see. You're not avoiding people. You're avoiding that feeling of being pushed into a conversation when your mind isn't ready yet to. You don't like meeting in person because your energy isn't like theirs. Some people recharge when they're around others. You're the opposite. Every in-person meet takes away a piece of your energy. You don't hate anyone. You're just tired from having to pay attention to every micro-expression on their face. Guess what they're feeling? Stay polite, keep the conversation going. And adjust yourself so you look as normal as possible. You're acting, even if just a little bit. But acting every day, every time you meet people, wears you out. You're not heartless. You just get tired more easily than others, because you feel everything too deeply and too finely. 3. The invisible fear, being misunderstood and not knowing what to say. Not another reason you don't want to answer the phone or meet up is that. You're afraid people will misunderstand you. You're afraid your voice won't sound happy enough, warm enough, or friendly enough to make them feel at ease. You're scared they'll think, "Why are they so weird? Do they not like me? Are they upset?" You're also afraid of those awkward silences when you don't know what to say next. When you text, you have time to think. You can delete a message, rewrite it, type slowly. But in real-time conversation, you don't get that buffer. You need time to process your feelings, to organize your thoughts, to say something that feels right to you. But real-life conversations almost always move faster than your mind. 4. A childhood where no one really listened. There's a deeper reason that not many people talk about. Many adults who now feel awkward with direct, face-to-face communication grew up with a childhood where their emotions weren't listened to in a safe way. Maybe you really wanted to share something, but were told you talked too much. Maybe you were sad, but got scolded for overreacting. Maybe you wanted to open up, but were interrupted, brushed off, or ignored. You didn't learn how to speak your feelings. You learned how to swallow them. You didn't learn how to express emotions. You learned how to suppress them. And when you grow up, every call and every meet brings back that childhood feeling that your voice doesn't matter, that your emotions aren't worth anyone's attention. Texting becomes your safe zone. No one cuts you off. No one forces you to respond right away. No one hears the slight tremble in your voice. 5. You're afraid of being asked for something on the spot. Another reason you avoid calls is that you're afraid the other person will ask for a favor or demand something you're not ready to give. Familiar thoughts pop up in your head. What do they want this time? Do I have to do it right now? What if I don't want to do it? You don't like being pressured into making instant decisions. You need time to think. You need your own space to respond. That doesn't mean you're irresponsible. It just means you don't want to be pushed into a situation you can't control. 6. You actually care. Just in a quiet way. People like you usually have very kind hearts. You remember little details. You care about someone by noticing every small change in them. You love quietly through small, subtle actions that don't show off, but because you don't like calling or meeting up. A lot of people misunderstand you as cold or indifferent. They don't realize you care in a very different way, deep, quiet, and delicate, a way not everyone is sensitive enough to see. 7. So how do you avoid being misunderstood? The wonderful thing is, you don't have to change who you are. You don't have to become the talkative, highly social person who loves constant hangouts. But you can help your loved ones understand you better with a few small things. You can gently say, "I'm not great with phone calls, but I'll always be here when you really need me." You can set a time in advance. Let's call it 8 tonight so I can mentally prepare. You can choose small, quiet meets instead of loud, crowded ones. You can reply to messages a bit more clearly so there's less room for misunderstanding. You're not wrong for being yourself. You just need to show people how to love you in the way that works for you. If you don't like phone calls, video calls, or face-to-face meetings, it doesn't mean you're heartless. It doesn't mean you're cold. And it definitely doesn't mean you don't know how to love. It simply means you need more time to open up, more personal space to think, and a sense of safety to be yourself. And that is completely normal, honestly. It's something quietly beautiful.